Hello, everybody. We're back. Happy Tuesday. We do these only on Tuesdays now. That's right. Okay, I don't even know what day it is.
What day is it?
That's how confused I am. We're coming in hot with lots of things to talk about. A really surprisingly difficult list for the topic Tuesday. It seems awesome.
Yeah.
And then it got harder. It's still going to be cool, but it just got harder. And a lot of news, two very funny car debates. I did something on the car debate I don't think I've done before.
Okay.
My top choices for both of the same car.
Really?
I have others.
I wonder.
I have others. But the top choice for both is the same car. So there's that happening.
Okay.
Cool car conclusions. You guys bombarded us with questions. Thank you. We posted those pictures from the last Cars and Coffee of the season for Park City. And actually, interestingly enough, a few of you whose cars were pictured have contacted us and said, hey, that's my car. And I'm like, well, let's drive it because we're going to drive them. It's going to be great.
One of them being a Via Cross, which you have never.
I want to drive the Via Cross.
I hope you're not disappointed. I hope you.
It doesn't matter if I'm disappointed. It doesn't matter.
Is amazing.
It doesn't matter.
It's everything I thought it would be.
The only reason that I hope I don't like it, honestly, is because my wife, it's in that category where she's like, you like that one, do you? It's like the Fiesta ST. We totally miss each other on that car. She's like, I know part of that is interesting.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so Via Cross and lots of other cool things. We have actually a lot of incredible videos coming up. I was looking at our slate recently, and the stuff that we have in the pipeline between now and January is all really cool stuff.
We've worked hard to get the pipeline full of cool, interesting things. So yeah, watch this space. We're going to be announcing that. And switching to news because we've got a lot to cover. It's mostly about Porsche news, but it's important. And we're not the ones to say we told you so, but maybe this falls under the predictions.
This is one of those times where you and I called something and then got it right, which happens now and then. Every now and then we're like, we think this is going to happen, and it's actually unfolding.
Porsche has a new CEO. Oliver Bloom is out, and Michael Leiters is replacing him. But you remember Dr. Oliver Bloom here sitting on the fender of a car, which he shouldn't because you could dent the top of the fender, but he was CEO, so I guess he can do whatever he wants. I mean, maybe that's his car.
They'll replace the fender.
Whatever.
It'll be okay, yeah.
So you remember he is CEO of Volkswagen and Porsche. He was simultaneously, and we said, you know what? There could be a reason that your focus is not, you're a little distracted. Your focus is not one or the other. And it felt like Porsche's products are trying to become Volkswagen products too closely.
It feels like two pretty big jobs. Two pretty big jobs. I'm just saying, you're a little busy. Can we give you one or the other?
So, good news. Michael Leiters, he comes from McLaren, but he has actually also been with Porsche for the Cayenne hybrid development. So that was his brainchild, his baby for that one. And he's well known in Stuttgart, is my understanding. He's a German guy, but he's worked for McLaren. And so he is now back in charge, and hopefully some good news.
Sounds cool. It's a good change, I think.
Future product planning with that. And speaking of future product planning, talking about the T-Hybrid, less emissions at the top end kind of hybrid. It's not the kind of hybrid that you think that is battery powered for a little bit, and that's not the point. The whole point of the T-Hybrid GTS is to reduce emissions at maximum output.
Well, and the other thing about it is we talked about it at length when we did our GTS versus the huge monster Mercedes piece we did earlier this year. It's that crazy Porsche technology where they put either side of the turbo on the other sides of an electric motor. And it is tempting to be, I know you hate the word seamless, but it's attempting to be a seamless interface between turbo,
nothing is ever seamless,
combustion, electric, and actually undermine the turbo lag that was evident in a lot of the 911, especially turbo engines. And when we drove it, this is where I'm patting us on the back. When we drove it, we said, look for this technology across the lineup. And at the time, Porsche was still like, no, we like EVs. They don't think they like EVs anymore.
That was just a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly. And now they think the T-Hybrid's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually like the T-Hybrid a lot. I like the tech. We have now seen it manifested in the new 911 Turbo and the new 911 Turbo S. So I thought, yeah, they'll just use two of these babies
for
in the new turbo, and sure enough, they did. And I'm wondering if GT class rules will allow them to start using them in the GT cars, but we'll see. Yeah. We're not. Car manufacturers aren't quite there yet for racing rules, but we're going to see it now because Porsche has said, well, they're going to continue on with EVs like the EV Cayenne, but they are going to bring models back, and I can see this across the board. T-hybrid tech in everything. It eliminates turbo lag and economies of scale. Porsche is known for economies of scale.
Yes,
the 996, the early Boxster, and the 996 generation 911, so much part sharing, and it saved them money.
Incredibly similar, yes.
That's good business decisions there.
For sure.
But as long as it creates separate products, that's important.
Agreed.
So,
but I mean, Porsche, the whole reason that the Cayman and Boxster in the variant that we love, in the variant that you've owned with the flat six, the whole reason that whole world is going away is because of emissions in the EU. And this turbo hybrid system that they've got actually passes those tests. So it stands to reason that as they pull back from EVs, this is the technology to move them forward. And it does work really well. And I mean, I said at length, I know you did as well when we were driving that piece, it's like, it's a technology throwdown. So why not amortize it out across everybody? Apparently they're doing just that.
Well, speaking of tech, Porsche has also talked about a new patent for a W18 triple turbo engine.
For what?
It's got to be a future supercar, because remember they introduced that Mission X concept that came out. It was the Laguna Rennsport 7, and this was going to be the future of their hypercar. And everybody was like, wow, I think.
Yeah.
But now since they're backing away from EVs, I wonder if this is going to be their new flagship engine in whatever they're thinking next.
A W18 triple turbocharged. That's a big engine.
3 inline sixes sharing a crank. That's
madness.
More than Bugattis. You think, the big W16 or the V16 by Cosworth and the Tourbillon. I liked this diagram pulled from their patent drawings because it shows a lot of heat management.
It's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on there. A lot of tubing
heat needing to be extracted out of this thing.
You're totally right. I cannot imagine the scale of this or the servicing or what it's even for.
Is Porsche going to be building a giant Hemi pickup truck kind of?
Yes.
W18, this thing's going to launch it off a dude.
You know it's going to be amazing.
Building.
They're going to put a P in front of the word Hemi and make the Porsche Femi. It's going to be great. It's going to be I don't know. I'm just making stuff up as we go here. The reality is, seriously, unless this is going to be the new engine for the next Bugatti, there's nowhere in Porsche's trajectory that this makes sense. What is this for?
You might be onto something, because the battery, the traction battery in the T hybrid is actually built by Rimac.
I know.
It's a larger battery. It's not as large as some traction batteries, but you can find it up under the cowl, just under the windshield. And that was, we discovered that was built by Rimac. And
there's some collaboration going on across the board. Yes.
Well, he said the future of these hot, crazy cars that he's building is not necessarily EVs. I mean, I think he might continue with the Navara, but I don't know that maybe this is part sharing again.
W18 is about as far from EV as you could get. It's like,
Triple
if that's
turbo.
one end, let's go the other end. What is that? Well, it's a multi-turbo W18. Let's do that.
Let's put that in a... People will buy that. Surely people will buy that.
Don't even understand what this is for.
Other things that people are going to buy are new from Smeg, the Italian maker of appliances that I know you're all familiar with in northern Italy.
I'm going to need a minute. It's just white noise over here for me.
They are now partnering with Porsche to build blenders, fridges, and I knew you were waiting for this, toasters. Toasters from Porsche. Porsche branded toasters, to the point where I like the design. I mean, it's 50s retro and it goes with nothing in my house.
Yes.
Because my kitchen's all stainless steel. But I'm just, thinking a Porsche branded Smeg toaster.
The only way I accept this toaster is if it's flat. If it's not,
you're right.
You got to load toast on either side in a flat configuration.
Side loading toast.
And it fires out across your counter. It's like two
plate on
pieces,
each
one
side.
on either side, a flat Porsche toaster. That I might actually consider buying, and also would take seriously.
Idea.
I'd be like, at least it's Porsche doing Porsche. This is just branding.
It's absolutely branding. It definitely falls into that, the story that I've told, like, aren't turbos just a marketing exercise? No. Buddy of mine had asked that question. No, I was adamant. It's a thing. It's a unit. It produces boost.
It does stuff.
Let me explain turbocharging. And then Porsche decided to put turbo on an EV, and he was right.
He was right. Yes.
I was wrong. So this is just marketing. It's just, I feel like Porsche has jumped the ship a little bit, and because Michael Leiters has not quite taken control of Porsche yet to rein in crazy stuff like this, they're going the direction of Ferrari, like with their Ferrari World in Dubai and the shopping experience. There's not just the cups and the onesies and the shot glasses. It's backpacks with a Ferrari teddy bear, and it's indoctrinate your children earlier into the you know, take them on the roller coaster and Ferrari everything. If it's not Ferrari, it's crap. So
it's do you know
where
where
like Porsche's going this direction? Like
I agree,
bed sheets and onesies and pajamas. And
do you actually know where? Do all of you know where the term "jump the shark" comes from?
I know where it comes from. Yes,
it comes from in one of the late seasons of the hugely successful show Happy Days, where Henry Winkler was playing apparently a cool guy that was half his actual age. He legitimately, if you haven't seen this online, you can find the clip all over the place. Ron Howard, who goes on to be a filmmaker in his own right, is driving the speedboat while Fonzie...
I didn't realize that.
While Fonzie is water skiing on 2 skis behind him, wearing his leather jacket... in some sort of, I don't know, contest, and Fonzie was going to win. But of course, there's a shark in the lake where they're doing this.
A lake shark?
Well, because it looks like a lake. There's no waves. They're water skiing at like normal speeds. There's nothing grand going on here. He's water skiing.
Oh my god!
In like 60s paraphernalia, with the exception of his leather jacket, and he hits the ski jump at the right time to jump over the shark that they're all worried about in the water. And that was the moment, apparently, that we all collectively realized that Happy Days, I mean, they coined the term, they jumped the shark, but Happy Days had come to a place where, have we gotten to this low? And ever since then, that's where people have jumped the shark. But the thing I love about that the most is the fact that Ron Howard's driving the boat, and he goes on to have a big career. And Henry Winkler, as the Fonzie, is actually water skiing in a leather jacket. It's
not recommended. So are you saying, see, I accept the side-firing toast. I accept that.
Yes, I agree.
I would buy that.
That at least says Porsche to me.
This is just 50s diner-looking Porsche
with a Porsche
branding.
Here's the thing. Take the Porsche branding off that, and it's every bit as compelling. It doesn't need Porsche on the side
You're
of it.
right. It doesn't.
You're going to buy that. Because the other thing about it is, do you want something in your kitchen that says Smeg on the side? I don't know that you want that either. So
many people do, apparently.
Apparently. So the question here is, wouldn't that be most compelling, honestly, I'm looking at the photo here, with no branding at all? Just a solid color and clean.
Yes.
It'd be more compelling and fit most kitchens.
Yes, 100% yes, except for side-fire toast.
Side-fire toast. That's what the world needs. Yes.
That is compelling.
Other crazy bits of news that I'm not sure we need is the Toyota announcement leak. This is in that category where I don't know if it was a actual leak or an announcement posing as a leak. Okay? But Toyota has released, or it's been leaked or whatever, the Tokyo Motor Show, Motor Salon, whatever they call it, is going on, and Toyota is teasing a shrunken down FJ Cruiser. It looks like the halfway mark between the current Land Cruiser and a K car. It looks like the middle ground, okay? It's very squished, very, very squished, very boxy.
It's kind of like a toaster.
It is kind of like a toaster. Maybe it's side fires. But so and the internet has kind of collectively lost their mind about this as the coolest next thing ever, as it must go worldwide. And of course, because it's introduced to the Japan Motor Show and because it's small, it's not intended to go anywhere but Japan. They're not talking about it for Europe. They're really not talking about it for the U.S. But everyone is losing their mind, which suggests, and you and I always have this thought, suggests, are they gauging interest in this little beast?
I mean, from what I can tell, it was on the global media site for Toyota as an announcement saying, built in Thailand, here's our Defender 90 kind of fighter. Yeah. I mean, it's built for a market, Japan, Thailand, you know, Eastern markets that have very little space. They don't have the open roads of Europe and certainly not North America. But, you know, 161 horsepower out of a 2.5 liter or 2.7 liter, I think.
2.7 liter.
7 liter.
But that means it's not turbo. It's not turbo. It's just an
That's
engine.
why. Because I would think, use a tiny little turbo, high-strung engine.
It's 161 horsepower, 181 pound-feet of torque, 6-speed auto, 2.7 liter 4-cylinder, which means that is a naturally aspirated engine, which means simple.
I suppose simple and understressed, unstressed engine would be the hallmark there. But yeah, I was reading the design inspiration that is comes from Dice. I think it's actually, there's a lot to explore there. I think it's original. I think it's interesting looking.
I'm going to disagree with you wholeheartedly, and here's why.
Okay.
The internet has, and you know much more about design than I do, but here's the thing that struck me, and I'm going to bring up a photo in just a minute to talk about this. Here's the thing that struck me. The general automotive press, when this dropped, and I will admit, it's cool looking. And by the way, Defender 90, not that small. That's a decent sized vehicle.
This seems smaller than that.
It does. It looks like it's smaller than that, even though they're talking about it being about the same size as the Defender 90. I think it looks almost like a K car.
Jimny.
It does look like a Jimny. I totally agree with you. But the thing I don't understand is, if I'm the brand Jeep, I'm a little angry right now because the internet has lost its mind. We need this. We'll buy this. This is the greatest thing ever. Why don't we have anything like this? And the problem is, this looks an awful lot like the Jeep Renegade.
Yeah, sure.
It looks like it could be the new generation of the Jeep Renegade. Like, we stopped making the Renegade and we brought it back as this. They look really coming down the same
better
line.
Styling and more compelling than the Jeep Renegade.
It is more off-road looking, even though I think the Renegade is a little less bulbous, which decide whether or not you like that or not. But this, literally, if this had dropped styling-wise as the new version of the Jeep Renegade, I think it would have gotten a collective shrug. And nobody would care. When the Renegade first was being sold, and you brought it up before, this has almost the same amount of power. It's 177 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque. So a little bit more, but it's a 1.3-liter turbo and a 9-speed auto in the Renegade. I looked all this up. When the Renegade first dropped, first year it sold 100,000 units. By the time they killed it, it was struggling to sell 20,000.
Okay? Doesn't amortize your tooling.
It doesn't do very well. The thing I am struggling with here, and there is a 3/4 shot that's been in almost all of the press material for this, that I swear could be the Renegade. With like a rack on the top. It just looks like a Renegade that somebody made a little cooler. What I don't understand here is everybody seems to be going, oh, send this here. We would all buy it. And I'm sitting here going, no, we wouldn't. We didn't all fawn over the Renegade. Are we fawning over this because it's Toyota? Now, maybe. Are we fawning over it because it's a naturally aspirated Toyota with 4-wheel drive and an FJ in the name?
I don't think engine has anything to do with it, actually.
But
I think it's just the size.
And I want to acknowledge here that I actually like this. I think it would be cool for it to come to the U.S. But what I'm baffled by is everybody going, we've never had anything like this. Please bring it here. We want this. We need this. I'm going, if I'm Jeep, I'm in the corner just in a huff now with arms crossed going, well, you didn't want it when I made it. You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting. Huh.
Because I've seen some Renegades that, I mean, and again, the Renegade was the 500X platform. But I've seen some Renegades that people have taken and made a little more off-road. And apparently, everything I've seen, and we didn't do much with it when we had one, but they are surprisingly capable off-road. They're not designed to be your Wrangler competitor, but they're surprisingly capable off-road. I mean, they do have a Jeep badge on them. I mean, they were worried about it a little bit. I'm just confused by our general wonder at this, and I'm just wondering how much it is the lauded Land Cruiser name and the lauded FJ Cruiser name that is making everybody go, we need this.
Freedom and joy.
I guess. I don't know.
That's what
because
people
I
need.
just think it's the Toyota refresh of the Renegade, and Jeep somewhere is in a huff.
I think so, but I think Jeep has made a mistake with the Renegade because they made it too light and soft and
they were trying to make
off-road.
a Fiat 500 more like a Jeep, which is hard, which is really hard.
I mean, there's a fine line in styling, but it actually matters.
True,
for,
absolutely, yeah.
For any market and perception, because that little FJ, well, yeah, it carries the FJ name, even though you're right, Jeep and Renegade sounds like Renegade. I'm off-road and
for sure.
ready for anything. But the FJ name and the way it looks appears as if it's sort of like that off-road kind of look. But you have a good point because Suzuki never brought the Jimny to North America because
they had the Samurai and they had issues.
need it.
But the Samurai sold okay for 5 minutes.
Well, now is Toyota coming to their senses because they make 10 SUVs at least, and they thought, you know what? If we bring this, it'll cannibalize the new RAV4 or the 4Runner or the Land Cruiser. Or do they need another FJ? Do they need another SUV in their lineup? Because already the 4Runner and the Land Cruiser are so similar.
Yes.
They're almost indistinguishable except for styling.
The 4Runner, the Land Cruiser, and the GX from the Lexus side of the world are all essentially the same, slightly different engine, slightly different spec, but they're all built on the same idea. If they could, and I'm surprised if they don't actually, bring a FJ to the States that is another one of those. But again, to your point, that'll be the fourth one on this. At least this little thing looks like we went a different direction. And we've said it before on this podcast. I think the only place for Toyota to expand in trucks is down, not up.
Agreed.
And not even laterally, just down. Something smaller in the
Which
market.
is what they're doing. And they're rightfully. I wonder if they'll tease this into the U.S. and just to gauge customer reaction. But I think they won't still bring it because they don't want Land Cruiser and 4Runner sales to be stepped on.
Maybe. Interesting.
But Jeep, I think they've positioned themselves as being too soft. They say trail rated, and trail rated badge is just, it's like turbo from Porsche. It's just a badge. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Angry letters from Jeep are incoming, but I take your point. Yes.
Softer styling.
It does, yeah.
It just seems like this thing will never go off-road, and you're just going to use it because it's a tall car. And that's it. Like snow might be like iffy.
But it also brings me back
to... Too soft. Jeep needs to go hardcore for the Jeep brand. Stop doing all the iterations. Just do like 2 or maybe 3, but like 2, and they're hardcore. And they're off-road, and they're uncomfortable if you're not doing off-road things. And like
the interior is nice, but the ride is not.
I get your point. If you want to drive this on the street, like we have other brands for you to choose from. Like don't buy a Jeep to just drive around on the street.
You're standing on something very interesting here, and that is the fact that I really wish that automakers would figure out who, and Dodge has kind of done this, figure out who your market is and just sell to them. You don't have to try to sell to everybody. I mean, and I'm not saying this is a direct correlation, but this is you and I on YouTube. We make the YouTube videos that we want to make for the audience that wants to watch it. And we wish, and thank you for all of those of you that do, we wish that audience was larger than it is. We hope you'll pass it on to your friends. And, and by the way, this thing that I don't know if you've done it yet, but you can hype it now. Only on your phone. When you're watching on your phone, which I'd rather you didn't watch on your phone. Thankfully, more than half of you don't. But if you're watching on your phone, you can hit the like button, and then you can pull that down and hype it. And hype is actually how, I cannot believe I'm having this conversation with a straight face, hype is how you actually can kind of promote it to YouTube at large. So if you are a person that watches our videos and enjoys them on your phone, then I would love for you to hype it because it gives hype and helps things. It does actually help. But the point is, you and I make the videos that we want to make for the kind of audience that we know that's out there that wants to watch them. And if we could turn around tomorrow and try to make the videos everyone else is making in the car culture, and we'd just be more of the noise. This is the problem with the 5-seat SUV world. Is everybody goes, well, we need to have 4. And it's like, no, that market's covered. What can you do that nobody else can? And Jeep is uniquely positioned there. Yes. I do like that a lot.
Just they need to throw out all their soft rotors and soft looking styling, and just, it looks like, I mean, Buicks look more aggressive.
Yikes. Okay.
Lincoln SUVs look slightly more aggressive.
All right, fair. The interesting thing here is I'm just curious what this is really going to be, because it also feels like, where's Honda with the new Element? The Element was one of those trucks that you either totally forgot about it, or you love it to this day and would buy another one tomorrow. There's no like, I don't really care either way on the Element. There's like, don't care, never thought about it, or must have one again. And I think that market's still there for the small, actual do-it-all, runs, boxy little truck. And the Element probably did it best. I mean, there was Nissan Cube at the time and other things, right? But the Element was very successful.
Boxy is not dead.
And this FJ kind of leans into that, so we'll see where it goes.
Griot's Garage is our official car care partner and one of the first ever sponsors of our show. They don't just make great car care products, they want you to get out and drive.
Griot's is a family-owned company, and they've been a part of every one of our road trips. We always take speed shine on every shoot, helping us spot clean cars in a moment's notice.
Griot's foaming glass cleaner is the quickest and best way we've ever found to get windows clean before a big day of driving. Griot's is always releasing new and improved products, like their updated wash bucket, too.
Plus, all of Griot's liquid products are 100% guaranteed and made right here in the U.S. The Griot's folks are always happy to answer any questions you have and make sure you get the right product and the right results.
So get the best quality car care products out there from a company that has always supported this show. Our audience can always get at least 10% off by using the code DRIVER10 at griotsgarage.com.
The topic for us to discuss today that we will not conclude, because I feel like these Topic Tuesdays are lengthy, which is what I love about them. They're lengthy and they have no real beginning or end, is one that came to us from one of you. You actually wrote in and said, it was the Bruce B. said, if your funds were unlimited and you had a warehouse for storage, so you're Jay Leno essentially, unlimited funds, unlimited storage, how big would your car collection be? And then he said, money, maintenance, and space are no object. You and I, being the people that we are, we gave it rules. We gave it guardrails. Because the reality is, Bruce, if these really are the rules, then the collection is every car we come across. It's like
all of them.
Oh, those are cool. Oh, I don't have. Oh, and one of those. I don't have one of those yet either. This is how guys wind up with those like 300 car collections, and they have every variant of some mid-'80s American car, and we don't understand why, because they had the money and they didn't have that version.
And they die, and the auctioneers go, yes!
Yes, exactly. So I think really if you were unlimited in these things, the answer is all of them. You just keep buying. You just I don't have one of those yet. Oh, that's a variant. That was the model year I don't have. You just buy that one too. Okay? But you and I are obsessed with driving the stuff we own.
Yes.
And actually having it not just sit. So the first thing we did is we gave it rules of 12. 12 cars. And then I gave it more rules because I realized even with 12 cars, unlimited funds, I was like, where do I start? It was just kind of daunting. So I also limited myself. I almost bent this rule once, and you'll see why. But I limited myself to cars I don't currently own. 12 cars, nothing I currently own. This is just for me.
Okay.
And I also limited myself, and I think, I'm looking at my list here again, I get close to breaking this rule, but I think I did this one too. I also didn't duplicate brands.
That's interesting.
So I I have to have, I gave myself a reason, like what is in a headline, what is the reason I have that car? Okay. Not just, it's cool. Like what am I doing with this car? Because I want to make sure everything I have gets driven.
True.
So this is 12 cars, technically money, no object, but I have to drive them and have the thinnest of air quotes, a purpose for them. And I want to have different experiences, different brands.
That's good.
So I actually have to be honest, I have 11 because I have a TBD space for a car that doesn't exist yet that I think is coming.
Really?
But so I have 11. And as weird as it sounds, I struggled to get 11. I was like, I had like 8, and I was like, I only have 8. There's like my 8 real fast, and then it was like, this got harder, which is crazy. You'd think 12 cars you'd buy, you'd think you have your 12 instantly. And I was like, I don't know. And I also expect in true Topic Tuesday fashion, talk to me in 2 years, and half this list will probably be different.
Yeah, I wonder. I had trouble with this list too.
It's interesting.
And I want to challenge all of you. Make your own 12-car list to these rules. Give yourself any rules, but 12 cars that you would actually drive. That was my first rule.
I agree. Yep.
I know I will be compelled to drive it. There's so many supercars and hypercars, and owners have them.
Yeah. Yes.
I've achieved the success in life.
Sure. Yep.
I had the money, and now I have it. But rarely do they get driven. They're more shown at soirees and art gallery openings and cars and coffees, and people call them like, hey, can we position your car in our dream house to raffle some stuff?
Yes, very true.
It doesn't seem like, driven like this thing's filthy and there's a new rock chip and the wheel is dinged, like driven and tracked, driven. I wanted a few track cars in here. For me, it was something that I need to look at cars every day. I've said this before. I just
I'm with you.
I have to look at cars. Yep. They are as an art object to me as they are fun to drive. So the 2 requirements were beautiful to look at, compelling. I just want to study the surface, the development, the surface, but then I know that I want to drive it. And I think I did. My first list, I threw half of them out because I thought, I totally want one of those. And I thought, I don't want to live with that car.
Interesting.
Even maintenance, no object. That just seems like a hassle.
All right.
I'll give you an example. The Mercedes Gullwing, the 1955 300 SL.
Sure. Yeah.
Beautiful car. Probably amazing to drive. Classic, iconic. They are steady in value. I don't think I want that car anymore. I don't want it. I want to look at it.
Wouldn't mind driving it, Don't
Wouldn't
want to
mind
own one. Yeah.
But owning it,
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
I think
That's
it would
good.
sit more than actually be driven.
It's interesting. I take that point. That's good.
So I found my through line dictated the things that I'm interested in that I didn't realize. And that is the resto mod versions of the cars that I love.
That's interesting. I have those as well. I don't
want the original.
The modern redo of some of these cars.
I want the modernized version
that
became better, that actually made that car what I think it should be, or what we all think it drives like. Because we've driven so many, that classic car, and then it's kind of underpowered and squishy ride, and the handling's not that great, and it's not that much fun. But man, I've got it, in my mind, idolized.
Sure.
I want to hear your list, though. I want to hear your 11.
I'm gonna dive in. I have 11. Here's my saving my 12th spot, okay? Because the cars that I feel like fit this 12th spot I don't really like the versions yet. What I'm looking for the 12th car is I really do think in 12 cars, I want a fun electric runabout, okay? And the only two cars I came up with were the BMW i3 or the current Mini E. And I don't think either of those are really fun enough or interesting enough that I'm like, I must have one of those in my garage.
So you're saying that slot is reserved for something in the future?
Because I think that world's coming.
Yeah.
What is the genuinely fun, fun to drive EV runabout?
Didn't Janetta was it Janetta?
Well, there was that. There was a company that wanted to make an Elise into it. There's been the Caterham's teased one.
Caterham has.
I've talked about wouldn't it be cool to actually have an electric smart car in this country. I saw a smart car this week that was lifted with a mean exhaust, and I was like, where did that come from? Anyway, I was driven by this 20-something girl. I was like, I have so many questions. Anyway, separate thing. But that was the thing. I think a fun, small, lightweight EV runabout is coming. And I actually want it to be rear-wheel drive as well. The Mini E is not, the BMW i3 is. That's why I kind of think electric smart car.
Yeah.
I think having one of those makes all the sense in the world. Like, have one of those in your garage. You're going to run 2 blocks, take the EV. You know what I mean? Why don't we? So that's my 12th car. That's the TBD car.
Okay.
I'm going to start with my nostalgia play. This is my straight-up nostalgia play. And I succeed here because I don't currently own this car, and that is the 300ZX. In fact, I'd like to buy back the one I had.
It's a sweet car, man.
The 1990s era 300ZX Nissan twin turbo. I had this gorgeous red one. Here it is pictured from our North trip with Bob's Big Boy in the background, inexplicably in a field. I know where this car is. I know the owner. There is an outside chance that if I arrived with the right check in my hand, I could buy it back. But I would totally have this car. Because we all have that car on our list that is just the car that takes you back. Mm-hmm. And it is that car for me, but the first one I had wasn't quite right. This one so was. So even if it wasn't this one, it has to be the manual transmission twin turbo. And 300ZX. That is one of my 12 for sure. Here's the only one where I get really close to breaking my own rule, and that is a 2008 or up factory supercharged version of the Lotus Elise. I have an 06 that is not factory supercharged. In 08, they supercharged them from the factory, so they made almost as much power as the Exige. It is a low PSI supercharger, so it actually creates the feel of the upper half of the rev band, the cam change, all the time, and they slightly refined the interior. It's still bare bones. I mean, as they got to like the 2020 version of the Elise, they had V6s in them now. Everything was covered in Alcantara. They start to become a much more powerful, bigger, and nicer car. This is like somebody did a quick pass of my car and just tweaked everything a tiny bit. A little bit more power, a little bit more refined interior, a little bit upgraded seats. I want the nicest one on the planet of this. It is the slightly better version of the car I own.
Although, would you ever, because you could buy the factory supercharger kit, would you ever do that to your own car? Because you've told me you've liked it as it is, but you've always kind of dreamed of the supercharger, that extra. And that's what, 30 horsepower extra?
It's something like that. The thing is, it's in the low 200 horsepower, and it gets a nice bump in torque. But it feels like the upper half of the rev band. I mean, this one I'm showing here even has a really cool orange paint that was the second half of it, and also some upgraded wheels. I am aware of the fact my car has 83,000 miles on it, and recently drove one that had 20,000 miles on it. And I was aware of the fact that my car just needs a general refresh. And the supercharger they put on these.
Tighten all the screws.
Seriously.
Tighten all the bolts.
The supercharger they put on this is the one you can buy aftermarket to put on the car. But I am so much a guy that I feel like when you tune is when you introduce problems. And mine just runs. So I kind of feel like let's get a factory supercharged 08 and up with those little tweaks. And again, it's like lots of little tweaks you could spend money on to do yourself, but let's just buy the package done. So
like that.
That's the upgrade. That's as close as I get to breaking my own rules. Moving on to what is my car for Cars and Coffee? I mean, I want to drive it more than that, but this is the car you pull out to take to Cars and Coffee. And it's the Pagani Huayra.
Ooh, that is nice.
I can't get past how much I like these cars. This is like one of the very last versions here. It's extra wings and other madness. Now, I haven't seen a Utopia in person, nor have we driven the Huayra or the Utopia, but this to me is a multi-million-dollar hypercar, and I'm certain that it's fun to drive, but in the world like the original Lamborghini Countach, I think this is a car that's fun to be seen in and fun to watch other people see.
It's both.
Yeah.
It's not just, I'm kind of hating life being in this thing.
I think it has to be good to drive, but I think its purpose is legitimately, you have a 20-minute drive to Cars and Coffee, and you park it at Cars and Coffee, and you go walk around everywhere else, and you talk to everybody on the planet, and you just let other people enjoy your car.
I think people who own these cars have a responsibility to show them off to everybody.
I would
not
like
just
to
hide
think
them
so.
in collections.
I would like to think so.
You kind of own it. You need to share it with all of us car enthusiasts.
I'll be honest. Look, I am not saying that these cars are equivalent at all. But I went to the last Cars and Coffee of the season here at Park City, which is where those photos came from, and I got there a little late. But my wife and I got there, and I was looking for parking. All the parking was taken. And I was in the Emira, which was freshly cleaned. And so I ended up parking the Emira in a place that if it was anything but Cars and Coffee, it would have been illegal. It was like along a weird curved curb, but there's people everywhere. And all the places you don't normally park are being parked in right now. So I happened to find this one spot, but that meant the car was kind of by itself versus in a line of cars. And I was fascinated to watch how many people just walked around it because of where it was sitting. And I just thought, that's what this is about. Not because my Emira is a Pagani Huayra, not saying that at all. I'm just saying that's what Cars and Coffee is supposed to be. Just like, oh, there's one of those. Isn't that cool? Walk around it, take a photo, talk to your buddy about it, keep moving. Pagani Huayra is my car to get that done. Plus, I want to drive one, and the interior feels like so many hypercars. I've said this before. If you're sitting in it, you go, where's the money?
Yes.
Where did all the money go?
Yes.
This, as much as I'm not a watch guy, you sit in it, you look at it even through the window, and you're like, oh, I see why this is expensive.
The fiddly,
everything about the way the interior is done is like, this had to be expensive, which I also love that about that. So that one's in there. This is where I did the thing you're talking about. Let's have the perfect classic car, shall we? Eagle E-Type. The Jaguar E-Type redone by Eagle in England, where they just make it all more modern and better. I love the E-Type. I have such a soft spot for it. It connects to my dad and my original love of cars and all of that. But this is the right way to get one. Modern tires. They take the wire. I mean, these wire wheels and the ones I'm showing, those are wide wheels. You can tell in the photo they're really wide. So you get the wire wheel, but you get a modern version of the wire wheel. You just refine everything to make it the best possible version of a car that was never actually made. Everything works, it's new, it runs, but ultimately what you're driving is the best version of a classic car.
Yeah.
I'm driving an Eagle E-Type, and I'm loving that. Because everyone needs a pickup, why not just get a 700 horsepower pickup?
This is on your list.
The TRX, yes.
This is on your list.
Yes, because I'm aware of the fact if I have 12 vehicles in my life, why not have a truck?
Awesome.
And if I'm going to have a truck, Ram TRX, because if you're going to have a truck in your life and you're going to go to the dump and you're going to haul something now and then, why not have 700 horsepower of madness Hemi under the hood? Why not do that? Let's get a Hellcat motor and a supercharger whine and a bunch of completely obnoxiousness. 12 cars, may as well have a pickup, may as well just be a TRX if I've got the money.
The Mini E or whatever that is.
Whatever.
Parked in the bed.
Yes. This is the exact counterpoint to the electric car still to be bought.
Yes.
Exactly right. So Ram
fantastic.
TRX has got to be on my list. That solves my pickup needs. Again, I've got uses for all of these vehicles.
Dump runs, man.
I've got uses. I'm going to only get older. Dump runs are going to happen, apparently. I need a wagon in my life.
Oh.
The Porsche Panamera Sport Turismo.
Oh.
This is the best the Panamera has ever been as far as I'm concerned. This is the right look. It is the right usability. When they actually added a little bit more wagon back of the Sport Turismo, I love these so much. They're drive
sweet.
really, really well. This does everything a wagon's supposed to be. It's 4 full-size people in it, plus space. It's fun to drive when you have fun. It's fun to sit in when you're sitting still. It's got cargo space. I've got 12 cars to fill. I may as well have a wagon, and this is the one I'm going with.
It's pretty.
I agree with you. I think this is the best this car's ever looked.
Yeah.
This is the other place I get close to breaking my own rules because these two cars are close to the same brand, but not officially. I'm going from the Panamera Porsche to the Singer.
Okay. Wow.
And I picked a Singer because I just thought 12 cars.
That's a hell.
Money,
that's a
no object.
big collection
it's
to
a
me.
big collection. Money, no object. Cars to drive. Singer has done this thing. We talked about it on our Problem with Porsche podcast. Singer has made the definitive version of the 911 everybody thinks the 911 used to be. They've done the resto mod thing. The 911 that everybody believes the 911 used to be. They've done that, but they've made it modern. They've refined the styling. They've made it run.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is extra quilted, including the engine bay, which I do not understand.
Extra quilted.
It is. It is. Look, you see the engine bay, and this is like, here's a light color of leather quilted on the back of the engine bay. It's like that.
What else is in the engine that's
Here's the
quilted?
thing. Unless, yeah, maybe, who knows? But here's the thing. Unless you're going to tow it everywhere, that was the stupidest choice on the planet. What are you doing with quilted anything in your engine bay? It's an engine bay. You can't drive that thing. Now, anyway, the point is, a Singer Porsche that's definitive 911. It's the old, it's the new, so I have to go Singer Porsche.
Nice.
One that surprised me because I started to really ponder, I want something crazy, Italian, and V12. And over time, a surprising car has risen to the top for me, and that is the Lamborghini Diablo.
What?
I just like these.
Is it because it has Nissan 300ZX headlights?
No, even though the one I'm showing is a very late model one that happens to have 300ZX headlights. But the thing is,
just making sure.
This is that tipping point where crazy Lamborghini becomes tame Lamborghini. This is right at the tipping point. And I don't even know that I have I'm showing the late model, no wing, pretty boxy version of the Diablo, which I think is coming into its own. So, but I feel like I don't even know which version of the Diablo, but this is still plenty of Countach craziness, but almost the Audi era. Almost. It's like the car's starting to get refined, but it's still super nuts. I don't feel like you see very many of these. And I'll be honest, when Lamborghini went from Countach to Diablo, I thought they went the wrong direction. But over time, I think this styling has aged very, very well.
Agreed.
And I think it's aged better than the cars since. The Murcielago and the Aventador, I feel like those have not aged as well as this has. So I think the Diablo is that perfect line of crazy and runs and modern and crazy old. And so I'm going Diablo, which I surprised myself.
Really? Yeah.
It's
hard. It's
surprisingly difficult.
This is actually hard to do. I want to go out to the garage, the barn, the warehouse? Do I want to see that? Do I want it?
Do I want to get in it?
Do I want it for just 10 minutes because I think it's cool and because hypercar, supercar, or would I use that?
Yeah. And I like the idea, if you're going to drive a crazy a crazy Italian V12, that it's not one that you're actually probably going to see otherwise. You never see these Diablos. I mean, occasionally, but it's a thing. Like, oh my gosh, there's a Diablo. So anyway, that's the one.
Pretty car now. You're right.
I think they've aged really well, much better than I expected them to when I think they were new. I think they're much more attractive now than they were originally, but that's a separate thing. Yeah. Somewhere in here, there's got to be a track car. I already picked a Porsche. But I do like this one, the C8 ZR1, maybe even a Z06. But I really think if I'm going to do track car, because all of you that know me and have listened for 5 minutes know that somewhere in here I was going to pick a GR86 because I don't currently own one. I did not pick a GR86.
Okay.
Because I thought the only purpose of a GR86 on this list would be to be a track car. But if I'm really dealing with a 12-car garage, unlimited funds, maintenance isn't a problem, then I need to pick a track car that's way beyond me, way, way, way beyond me, that I can slowly work my way up to. And if I ever become a good enough driver that I can drive anywhere near the limits of that car, no one will catch me. And I just thought...
Even Miatas.
Exactly right. I just thought...
Finally, the Miatas are left in the dust.
I just thought, Z06 could get me there, but ZR1 would just do more. And this is madness in a track car.
It's more.
The 1,000 horsepower track car. Yeah. What is this doing in real existence? And the other thing about it is, because I thought GT3 RS, but I've already picked a Porsche, which is part of the thing. But the reality is, this is a lot cheaper than the GT3 RS. And in track cars, you have to have, I know this is crazy what I'm about to say, you have to have some sort of mentality of it's disposable. And a Z06 for sure, and a ZR1 possibly. We're talking about this money, no object world. That is your disposable track car. It's more disposable than the big Porsches.
Yeah, it is.
So I Z06 at least, maybe ZR1 Vet as the track car.
That is crazy.
So that's where I went there. Wow. 2 left. I don't have is this how modern we are? Car yet. Like, are we really this far out there? And I also don't have a GT car. Like let's start driving, because I'm just ensconced in leather and nothing bothers me and I can't hear anything else.
Quilted leather.
Yes, exactly. So I did it all in one car. The new Mercedes AMG GT E63 S Performance. The everything. I can drive this as an electric.
Yes.
I can drive this as why does this have this much power? 1,000 pound-feet of torque. You can also drive it cross-country very quietly. This is all of those things.
It sounds great. It looks great. It's fast beyond belief.
It's ridiculous.
Modern tech, everything.
And I also do feel like this is the one that touches all the modern tech and kind of reaches, at least in my brain, for, you know what? That's enough. We're good here. We don't need to do any more than this is doing. We have already pushed the boundaries far enough. I don't need more screens or tech we're good. We're fine. Please, everybody, stop developing. This is what this car feels like to me. So I wanted something way out. I mean, I've got the Elise on one end. I've got the Jaguar E-Type. Let's get something the other end, and that's this car. Which leaves me with my last car that I would own tomorrow if I could, and I actually think I would drive it a lot, and that is the Alpine A110. I want it in blue.
I was wondering if this is on,
I think this would probably be the most driven car in this entire collection, because it's modern, it's light, and I love lightweight, but it's a lot easier place to jump in and out of than the Elise. It is auto. You could drive it anywhere. I think this is a very compelling car for the 12-car garage. I've got all kinds of weights. I've got all kinds of usage, but in many ways, this is modern, light, fun, daily in the Alpine A110. That's my 12, with a slot waiting for the EV still to come.
That is really good.
I had fun with this, but it was surprisingly hard. I mean, to the point, admitting it to all of you watching, to the point that I was late to the podcast today, because I reached out to Paul and was like, I'm not even done yet. It was hard. It was just difficult, but I thoroughly enjoyed the exercise. So thank you, Bruce, for writing in about it.
We're adding FCP Euro as our partners and supporters for both Everyday Driver and Hooked on Driving. For nearly 40 years, FCP Euro has been an industry-leading supplier of genuine, original equipment and OEM parts and performance upgrades for European cars.
That means BMW, Audi, Volkswagen, Mini, Mercedes, Volvo, Porsche, and even Saab. Paul, you have to call your brother-in-law and tell him FCP Euro is the place, because as I just said, even Saab. We're putting it in the ad. Anyway.
They offer a lifetime replacement guarantee on everything, including consumables like brake pads, wiper blades, and even oil filters. Buy a replacement, send back the old one, and receive a credit for the full amount.
For your Saab!
Plus, FCP Euro offers free economy shipping on orders over $49 and a 90-day hassle-free return policy for new, unused, and uninstalled parts.
So visit FCP Euro today for more than 300,000 parts ready to ship for your European car and your Saab. FCPEuro.com. I'm very excited to hear your list.
Good news.
Okay.
I think I kept it all under $60 million. The entire collection.
My collection wasn't all that expensive, actually. Preciousness was a factor to my brain as well.
True.
Like, I want to know I'm going to drive these. Granted, I know we're dealing in a world where money's no object, but
money's no object, but you still have you're right, the preciousness factor, and mine is way on the other side of that, but I still...
No one is surprised.
Maybe I'm lying to myself that I'm telling myself that I would drive all these. I'm telling myself that now, not having ever driven many of these or tasted it,
all right,
but...
Got it.
Am I lying to myself? I don't think I am. I would drive them. I would drive them. I
will say, as we're talking about preciousness again, and preciousness, if you're not following along, is that thing, that feeling that you have that something's going to happen to your car, and so you can't take it in this situation. It's raining. It just finished raining. It might snow later.
It might rain again.
There will be other traffic. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to park it. All of these things that creep in the back of your mind. And I wanted to believe that I was immune. I wanted to believe it, that I was immune. And then I got the Amira and had to do some training exercises. Like, let's just take it to the store. Let's just, can we go to just the store? And I've gotten better. But like the first few weeks, seriously, the first few weeks of having the Emira, it's a $100,000 car.
Yeah.
First weeks having the Emira, I was like, I can't take the Emira. Stop it. Stop it. But I understand it now at a much deeper level, because that is a car way beyond the means of anything I ever thought I'd have. And thanks to you all and thanks to the show for that. Absolutely. That car, it crosses my mind. For sure. I pull that car out of the garage and I'm like, are we taking this really? Are we? And then I just settle in and we go. But yeah.
Bruce B., I took this to heart. So keep in mind, as I go through my list, the art of driving and the car as art. Mm-hmm. The beauty and pleasure of driving and the car as art. But I don't think I'm kidding myself. I would drive these. I would totally drive these.
I'm going to try to believe you, yes.
Try to believe me.
I'm just very concerned about the sheer cost of this list, but off we go.
It's a lot. Like I said, I loosely added everything up. I don't want examples like these cars.
Oh.
I want these.
You went that
cars.
far. Okay, very specific. The one you were showing is the car for your garage. Okay, that'll make it more difficult. All right.
One, starting off, the 1989. Reimagined my Singer Porsche 911 DLS, so the dynamic and lightweight study that recently sold on Bring a Trailer for $2.8 million.
Almost seems like a bargain, but anyway, yeah.
$2.8 million.
Sure, let's get right on that. Yeah.
Sure. Williams built 4-liter flat six.
Oh.
I keep thinking about your toast idea. That is such
flat
a great,
toast. I'm telling you,
such a great idea.
Porsche flat toast. Missed opportunity, everybody.
Totally.
Anyway.
So carbon fiber body, nickel plating, the construction, the design.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it.
Again, what you had a Singer as well, and it was along the lines of what we all think the 911 drives like, but early examples that are unrestored and aren't like this, they're kind of squishy, and you have to it's really great. I love it.
You and I have driven more than most, and they are the Singer gets it right.
So here is that Singer. I've got a couple of photos, maybe for each of these versions, but here's the interior, and I just want to sit down. I want to sit down. I want to shift. I want to drive. I want to be in this car. The construction materials, art of driving, and art as the car.
I see
both.
It. Yep.
Am I deluding myself that I would drive? I would drive this.
I'd like to think so, but who knows? Yeah.
Moving on to the 911 ST, it is the GT3 RS with a manual.
Yeah.
It's cheat code with a manual.
Yeah, okay. And many people, and this is one we haven't driven. If you have an ST out there, give us a call.
Yes.
This is one we haven't driven, but many people have said they prefer it over the GT3. I bet it is the better street car.
I think it's a better street car, and it's so compelling to me. I don't want any of them. I want this one. $900,000 is what they're going for.
Oh, man.
Approximately, kind of depending, 600 to 900 depending on the spec. But
somebody get out a calculator, start running a tally on Paul's list. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. I can tell already. You're 3 deep in Porsches already?
I might have more.
Oh my Lord! I would like it noted I had one with a Porsche badge on it. Anyway,
but I must have. There's variants of the Porsche. I must have.
I get it.
The 959. This is the Canepa, the Scuderia Canepa version. It's a 959 that has been completely disassembled, re-engineered, rethought, rebuilt, put all back together to sell for, I think this is around $3.3 million.
Sure.
Bigger wheels, better upgraded everything, more horsepower, titanium springs.
I'm pulling out a calculator right now. I'm doing this live.
I think it was hard to find some of these cars, the prices, because some of the auction houses do not publish the sold prices,
yes.
the hammer price for various cars. So I'm estimating on a few of them. So
you're doing fine.
I'm between 54 and 60 million.
Okay.
At least.
All right. Hey, I love that you tallied it already, but I'm going to keep
a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is the Canepa, currently for sale, 959 from 1988. Here is that interior. I just want to sit down.
It's gorgeous. It's
want
gorgeous
to drive this car. It's classic. It was the future then. It spawned what we know, a lot of Porsche technology, to be mainstream now. It does it for me for styling. I know I would drive this car.
It's gorgeous. Yeah. And I'm sure it would run wonderfully too.
I would forget the price tag. And that continues to move us. You're seeing the through line. It's the Resto Mod versions.
Yes, it is.
The Canepa,
yes,
the Singer, and now the Nardone, the French manufacturer, the guy who is rethinking the 928. That's exactly what this car needed.
Yeah.
You have to supply the donor car, but from what I understand, it's a bargain. It's only about $400,000 to do this conversion to install. I mean, look at that that plan view is just...
I'm not surprised you have this on your list at all because you have such a soft spot for 928s, and this is the definitive. This is the singer of 928s, is what this is. I totally get it. Yeah,
it really is. So here's it in a different color. This is a 450 horsepower, 5-liter V8 rebuilt, re-engineered by Italtecnica, the famous engine builder. And this also has active suspension and a now 6-speed rear transaxle. So I'm estimating $450,000 for this, like $50,000 for a really good donor car, and $400,000 for the conversion.
All right.
And this just speaks to me. The nose is longer, elegant.
It's very cool.
It's modernized.
It's very cool. Yeah.
What this old 928, but GT car. Oh, I'm all about it. Love this thing. Absolutely all about it. And in lieu of that, I just wanted you to know that a 1994 GTS, just showing a 928 GTS, just sold on Ring and Trailer for $269,000.
That's the original version, like unmolested. It's just a really nice old version. Yeah.
269.
I mean, you don't have that much money in your car, but close.
$1,000.
Close, I feel like. Yeah.
So that is just the alt. I just was.
You're saying if you can't get the other one, you'd get a really
not on
nice
the list, but
classic. Got it.
This is the other.
Nice.
And then that brings me. I have to have a Cayman. I must have a Cayman.
Okay. Yep.
In no way can I complain. I can't complain. I love my Cayman.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
A 718 Cayman GT4 is what I want. I have a 2020. But I did find this 2023 in a slightly different shade of blue, and you must, again, look at the interior. I've never seen the carbon buckets in Ascot brown.
Yeah, that's like a very reddish brown. It's gorgeous.
Beechwood shift knob. I didn't even know that you could spec it like this. This one sold for around $180,000, and I just thought, if I'm going to have the ultimate GT4, even though I'm very thankful.
Do, but I take your point.
I pretty much do, and I love it. I wouldn't change it.
But I understand.
Unless this came along. This was more.
Even more than the one you bought. Terrifying, yes.
Yeah, but look at that. The Beechwood, I love it.
How much was this one?
This was only $180. So this was the least expensive on my list.
Got it. Well, good for you.
Having some fun here.
Yeah, you are.
And you probably knew this also. This would be the track car. I am obsessed with Ferrari's new styling, their direction, and the F80, the technological and aerodynamic marvel that is the F80. I cannot get over myself.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
I am so intrigued. So this is from the configurator. So this is just a rendering. I rendered it in green and I rendered it in blue just to check it out.
Because you needed to try them both. I understand. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
Shields and just... And I'm intrigued with the styling. It harkens back without being retro, but it's monolithic. It's Le Mans-like.
Yeah,
and the technology in this car intrigues the daylights out of me. And I'm estimating these to be like starting at $3 million. I think like 3 to 5, depending on the.
Sure, why not? We'll get right on that. Yep.
But that also brings me to my second Ferrari, and that is the new Amalfi GT. I am absolutely impressed.
You know, this probably should have been on my list in place of the Mercedes. I bet you this is even better.
It's the Roma, and the Roma just proportionally just wasn't quite there, and they fixed everything with the Amalfi. This isn't even out yet. I don't think anybody's driven
They're gorgeous. They're really. I liked the Roma, but this is somehow even better. I do like that. Yeah, it's great.
This are just superb. So I had to show you multiple versions, and that rear shot. Oh,
it's awesome. It's gorgeous looking.
Stance. There's muscle car in this. There's Ferrari. There's history. There's tech. I'm all about it.
I think you did GT car better than I did. Bravo. Keep going.
On to the car. This is a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California Spider by Scaglietti.
Is everyone else hearing Ferris Bueller, or is it just me?
It doesn't have anything to do with Say Ferris.
Yeah, okay.
But to find one of these...
If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up.
Highly recommend.
Yes.
The short wheelbase is what I want. So the long wheelbase came out first, and then in 1959, the short wheelbase was introduced. This is a 1961 version.
He never drives it. He just rubs it with a diaper.
Exactly.
His house is like a museum. It's very cold. You're not allowed to touch anything. Anyway, I could do the whole movie. It's terrifying.
Greatest.
Yeah.
But classic, one of the most beautiful Ferraris of all time.
It is spectacular, yes.
The problem is finding auction results. At the low end, I found 6.8 million, but I've heard as high as about 20.
Okay,
we'll
give you 7 because these are coming down.
They are.
That's the reality. Seriously, the point I'm making here is the cars that are going up in auction prices are the 80s and 90s supercars are going up. And the things that are going down is the stuff before that. It's that moving through of collectors that we talk about.
Yeah.
As collectors come into money, they're nostalgic for the stuff that they couldn't afford when they were young.
Right.
This is on the downslope. I mean, it's still millions.
It's on the downswing. You can pick one up.
But these were selling for 10, 20 million 10 years ago, and that's not happening anymore.
I don't think so. I think they're an 11-ish, 8-ish, 6.8 on the low end, depending.
You wait another 10 years, and they'll come down, to only single-digit millions. Anyway,
ideally, but I think it's so pretty. For me, this has got to be up there with the Jag for you. But I do have another one that I think you'll enjoy.
You've had 4 Porsches and 3 Ferraris. You're stacking it deep, man.
Five Porsches. So far?
Okay. I love it. Keep going.
But I'll keep going.
What is this thing?
This is a 2023 BAC Mono R for track use. This is shown in gloss bronze and exposed carbon fiber here. So you can see here the stats on the side of the air intake. 343 brake horsepower in the Mono R. The gloss bronze under fluorescent lighting looks muddy brown, but I do like bronze, and so I'm giving this a chance. But I found this
crazy looking car
for only $443,000.
Bargain. Look at you. All right.
I mean, I could get 2 because I figured you want one.
I mean, if we're shopping, let's just the real problem I have with the BAC model. Granted, we haven't driven one. The real problem I have is it's always a solo track day.
It's a solo track day,
but it's very cool. It's very, very cool.
I think the Cayman GT4 and the F80 would be. Those are my track cars. I say that
cars plural.
Definitively.
We're getting right on that. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But I also, maybe this could be a track car, but this also strikes me as more fun on just a canyon road solo with a helmet, like you're going for a motorcycle.
It's like a motorcycle ride. Yeah, I take that point. That's a great point.
This
That's a very interesting point. Okay, I see that. I do see it.
Like lost in thought.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Totally.
And,
okay. All right. I start to see that. That makes sense. Yep.
So. Moving on to
the
newly introduced Gordon Murray S1 Le Mans edition. So he kind of redid the F1 and did it better based on a T50.
Somebody brought him truckloads, multiple semis worth of cash, and he went, oh, okay, and made a new version of the McLaren F1 that is somehow better looking and more intriguing, not only than the original F1, but here's the thing I can't believe about this. He stole from his own current cars he's releasing. Because everybody went, T50 is cool, T33 is cool. Oh, wait, that's cooler. Everybody did.
Yeah.
It's terrible, but it's very cool.
It's very cool.
How much is this?
Well, the T50, first, go to Gordon Murray Automotive, GordonMurrayAutomotive.com.
Why not?
You will see that they're
all more expensive than we can afford.
Well, they're all sold out. So the production run, all sold out, but there still are sales inquiries for things like this.
Yes.
And I watched the reveal at the Monterey, and from what I can tell, this is about 11 million.
Sure. I mean, more expensive than the T50, which is like 5 or 6.
It's like 2 or 3 T50s.
And I like the T33 a lot, but and it's a bargain by comparison. Moving on,
So here is that S1. It does the F1 thing for me.
It's fantastic.
It's
it
absolutely
really is,
what I want.
Yep.
But also, if we're going to do that.
Oh my gosh. You're going to get an original just so you can compare and contrast. See, what I like is that you're really thinking about everyday driver here. You're going to do comparisons.
Yes,
everybody's going to want to know what the new one versus the old one is like, and it's very relatable. It's super relatable.
We have to find out. We're here to find out. That's what, of course, every journalist says. We're here to find out. So I don't want just any McLaren F1.
Oh, no.
I want chassis number 62. This car.
Why is that? Why is chassis 62 significant?
Well, because it sold for $25 million, and I just want it.
Okay. All right. I'm just adding up over here. I'm continuing. The calculator is getting warm. Yeah. From all the big numbers. Yes. Moving on. Yeah.
Bursting into flame. So I just think it's a superb example of the McLaren F1. It was low miles. I think it was Larry Ellison that owned it at one point.
Yeah. One of the richest people in the world. Why not? Yeah.
If we're doing this, we're doing it.
You always shoot for the stars better than I do. I have to admit, you're always much better at that than I am.
Gonna do it.
Yep. Well done.
So we're getting there.
Oh, wow.
ending up here, close to the, the very last here, 12th car is the 2018 Aston Martin DB4 GT continuation. So 2018.
Oh, yeah.
Painted almond green. And the estimate here is about $2 million for an inline six, making 331 horsepower. And the reason, I mean, gorgeous, interesting styling, classic race car,
for sure. Yeah.
Aston British heritage aside, is that interior.
The interior is very cool, I have to admit.
That in a old style,
it's awesome.
Aston Martin is such a dichotomy to me. So I think that's my 5th resto mod.
Something like that.
Singer.
I think almost half your list. Well, I'm going to ask the incredibly mundane question.
Aston.
And that is, what are you going to the store in and what are you taking skiing? What are you hauling your bike with? Probably the 928. I can see the bike sticking out of the back.
Or the Amalfi. The Amalfi is sort of like the beater.
I guess on this list it is. You're absolutely right.
Kind of the beater. That is the thing. Yeah.
That is crazy. That's your whole list?
That is the list. That is 12. The 959 is the winter.
Okay.
all-wheel drive, take to the ski resort.
You're right. 56 million is the tally that
56.
I get. 56.
Okay.
Yeah. Well done.
I kept it under 60, everyone.
I didn't even tally what mine were, but it wasn't that much. So, but bravo. Well done. That's really impressive. I do have to agree that you've got a heck of a list there. I'll ask the obvious question.
Tough.
How are you going to the dump? You're probably borrowing my TRX.
I'm calling you and I'm going to the dump in your TRX.
Yeah. Because apparently as we get older, we have to go to the dump regularly. I don't know what we're throwing out, but we got to go to the dump again.
Okay, so I challenge you to make your own list. We challenge you because it was actually kind of hard. Again, make your own rules. What would you actually own? I could envision myself. I'm envisioning myself. I'm not lying to myself. I would drive these.
That's the big question is I think
glee. With hilarity, with
I've gotten to the point.
Abandon.
Good. I hope so.
Drive them.
I've gotten to the point, and this is going to sound weird. I've gotten to the point where I'm not impressed by your car collection. I'm not. I'm impressed by what you're driving.
Yeah.
And if you have a really cool car collection, and you know what, I bought a 5-seat SUV that I drive every day, I go, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. That's the thing I was so impressed by, and I used to see it. I've talked about this before. In LA, when I would commute to New Line Cinema, the route I would take happened in LA. If you've ever watched the movie LA Story, you have some really weird way to get everywhere. So I would do this up through the mountains, the hills of Los Angeles thing. My route happened to be the opposite of Jay Leno's route.
That's right.
So very often, a couple times a week, I would see him. As we understand it, and you may have to help me here, but as we understand it, he has this huge car collection that is in these anonymous hangars out by Burbank Airport, and he would wake up in the morning with whatever car was in the driveway and call his people, because of course when you've got a collection like that, you have people, and tell them whatever car he wanted to drive that day. And he would drive whatever he was in from the night before down from his house to Burbank, and I would see him. I remember the first time I ever saw him in a BAC Mono, the white hair, the denim, the goggles, going down the freeway the opposite way from me. It was the first time I've ever seen one. Not a Mono, the Ariel Atom, when the Ariel Atom first came out. And he went by the way. I was like, of course it was Jay Leno doing that. They'd been out like 5 minutes, and of course he had one.
Of course.
But anyway, so he would drive that car to the studio. He would do the Tonight Show, and the filming would end at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And then he would drive the car that he brought in that morning to the garage where they would have the car he called about waiting, and he would drive that home. And maybe he'd swap every day, or maybe he'd swap every couple of days, but anytime he called, they'd prep that car. That's what I want from car collectors. And what I'm so used to seeing now and completely over is the guy standing nicely dressed in the middle of his room of cars. Very often they're all the same color, but standing in his middle of his room of cars, just guys standing there. The garage is pristine, the cars are pristine, and many of them are delivery miles.
Agreed.
And I just go, what are we doing?
It'd be more impressive if, they all had like 50, 60, 80,000 miles on them.
Or at least, I drive every one of these cars 1,000 miles a year. Okay.
It was so impressive. I mean, Jay's collection is enormous.
Yeah,
and
huge.
I hope that in the future it doesn't turn into a museum. I really don't, because he is known for driving everything constantly.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever the crazy build, the tank car and the...
Yeah, for sure.
Everything he had, he drove them, and he's known for that, keeping them running and driving, because museum cars just, they'll sit.
It's too bad.
Yeah. So I almost hope that collection is broken up at auction and not kept together as the Jay Leno collection. Because if everybody has a piece of Jay's collection in the future, I bet you they'd be driven in homage to what Jay
That's an interesting
have
thought.
done.
Because the other thing I can think of, and look, I mean, we have no idea, but the other thing I can think of is it would be interesting if it became a museum, and I'm just giving away an idea here, but it became a museum, but part of the museum is the people that keep everything there are keeping it running, and like every day of the year a car is going out, and you as a person that's at the museum can pay X amount of dollars to ride along. And so the cars are constantly being cycled, they're constantly being driven, because wherever they go, they should be driven. But I know we're having a weird offshoot conversation. But yeah, what is your list of 12 that you might actually drive? It's crazy.
everydaydrivertv@gmail.com. Car conclusions, car debates, and topic Tuesdays that are unending.
They keep going forever. This list is going to be different in like 2 years.
Totally.
Since you're listening to us, you'll end up shopping for your next car. And when you do, you need Autotempest.com.
Any car, anywhere, at any price. Autotempest searches all the major car listing sites on the web, local or nationwide. And Autotempest has recently added price history for every car listed, so you can see how prices are trending and know if you found a good deal. You can also create search alerts and lists of saved searches, so you can find your perfect spec even easier the next time.
Search on any device, in your browser, or as an app for Apple or Android. New, used, or unexpected, Autotempest is how we search for cars. Go to Autotempest.com/everyday so they know we sent you. Autotempest, all the cars, one search. We're jumping into 2 really cool car debates, both sent in by women, which I love. That doesn't happen very often, but we love getting them. One by a long-term follower of the show we've never met, and one by a close friend. I mean, this is the thing I love about this show is many of you that have written in over the years have become friends. You've joined us on our adventures and that kind of thing, and there's more adventures coming for next year. We have to announce it. The only one announced right now is the Spain and Portugal one, and that's on the HOD site, and that's in April. But there'll be all of our normal cadre, fleet of adventures are all happening next year, plus track days. We'll get to that. One of these debates is from somebody we've never met, that you've followed the show for years, and we love that. And the other one is from Mandy. That'll be the second one. And Mandy has worked very closely with the show. Many of you have met her, and she's in a car quandary. And I'll tell a story on that real quick, and then we'll dive into Emily's debate. But Mandy was sending us a text this week, and I said, kind of half kidding, well, you know where to send an email. And people send us massive emails where they just download all their thoughts. And I, it's like, ha, that was a funny text. And then that night, ba-boom.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that email. But Emily is first, and she's writing in because she and her husband have listened to the show for a long time. Nate has listened for about a decade. And he keeps writing an email he doesn't send. So she solved it and sent one.
Emily, thanks for writing. Nate, hello. And your 2 kids, you're now listening. You've done a lot of listening. Really appreciate it. Yes, Emily's husband, Nate, does a lot for their family. Emily writes, he's got a very busy job, helps coach their son's team, has to run the house when she works off shifts, weekends, evenings, holidays, and Nate always puts his family first. This priority has sometimes not given him the chance to look into one of his passions, which is driving. Their current lineup includes a 2019 Volkswagen Golf GTI. He got an amazing deal over the pandemic era. It's a manual, good performance. Warranty is up in March 2026. Emily also has a 2022 Kia Telluride, great for traveling, skiing, taking friends and family along with the spacious third row option. And then Nate has a 2002 Honda S2000.
Whoa, there's a curveball.
His happy place car. Emily has known Nate. They've known each other since they were 15 years old. This car has always been one of his favorites. He loves when he has the opportunity to drive, but they live in an area that gets a lot of snow. So when they're into summer, when it's not raining, when he can drive to work, there's only 2 days a week. The rest he works from home.
Okay,
and occasionally golf or do a quick errand. And the kids can't be in the front seat yet, but the kids love the car.
Okay.
You said it, Todd. He's been trying to write to us for over a year. Emily finally finished and pushed send.
I love it. Which means what he's been doing, Nate, is you've been sharing this email with Emily and going, I think about sending this to the guys. And then what probably happens, it's probably our fault. It's probably one of those things where we keep saying, be sure your email's good. And he's like, yeah, it's not good enough. So
make it good.
So she has sent it, which is great. I love it.
Nate writes that, well, he actually had episode 316. He had a question for their 3-year-old son asking about the best Darth Vader car.
That was a long time ago, and we did answer that question. And that they've been listening since 316. That's a long time.
That was July 20th of 2018.
It's crazy. It's very crazy, yeah.
Wow. A lot has happened since then. Nate's daughter Ella and son Matthew, they really love the Honda S2000. As I said, they love the red seats. They love that it's convertible.
Mm-hmm.
Their daughter thinks the new 2024 Toyota Tacoma in red would be really cool, and they've done some driving. She likes how high it rides, which is the opposite of what Nate gravitates towards. So this is part of his email.
Mm-hmm.
Emily has guilt that she is writing this now and not Nate. But for his birthday, Nate, happy birthday.
Yep.
We need to try, based on their hundreds of conversations.
Yep.
We need to try to get him something different.
He has just said to her, when did you send this?
Yeah.
He has just asked that question. Anyway, yeah, that's really cool. All right.
When she works and takes her car and the rest of the family wants to golf and ski and go somewhere as a family, they need the Telluride. They need Emily's car, but she's got it. It sounds like no problem when you have two other cars in the garage, but Emily's terrified of manuals and can only drive automatics.
And the other two, let's see, it's the S2000, which is his baby, and the GTI, which is a manual. Yeah.
The family has test driven Tacoma, 4Runner, Audi A5, Acura TLX, and Integra. They used to own an Acura RDX, which is not off the table for getting again, but they said the whole family was included in these test drives to get a feel of how they ride, and came to fruition when they were test driving a Bronco. They all got motion sickness.
Okay, so not an off-road prepped truck. That's where we're headed. Okay, got it. I actually don't know that the Tacoma would work based on that, but that's a side note. Anyway.
Nate's mentioned many times a BMW 2 Series, which are hard to come by, apparently. Budget would be a reasonable trade-in for one car with the replacement of the new one. He's okay with something good used one. He was disappointed when he missed out on an Audi S5 with a red interior. Number 5 on the list, they're not a flashy family, so they're not looking to stand out with big logos. Emily, I love how
What if the logos are just small?
They're small.
It's really small. You could take the logos off. You could do that
exactly,
too.
Anyway,
yeah, separate thing.
Emily thinks he would miss the Honda S2000 the most because of how much he loves it, but it's not getting used that much. So that's painful for Nate. And then considering if he would take the kids somewhere when Emily works, that he needs a better winter driving vehicle.
Sure.
So if he gets something like an SUV, the RDX, or a truck like the Tacoma, or an automatic Audi, or a small upgrade from the GTI, then Emily could take that car to work, and the rest of the family could take the Telluride.
It's going to have to be auto. It's going to have to be auto and more than 2 seats. I mean, I think those are the minimum requirements here, but I do think that's important. Also, seating is important, comfortable seating, good lumbar support, and that's very important for Nate and for all of them. And the reality is she and the kids just want him to be happy driving because they know it's something that he loves. He's not getting to drive it and enjoy it as much as possible. So they're really hoping that we can come with some good answers on this. I want to say real quick that I don't know if you agree, I think the S2000 needs to really try to hang on.
I think it needs to stay.
Absolutely. I think the GTI
yes.
can go. So
yes.
we're probably selling the GTI for somewhere in the low 20s, maybe mid 20s, maybe. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud about what that's worth. But the thing about the S2000 is, Nate, I think you're headed into a stage when you might drive it more. And I say that because your kids are getting old enough you might be able to take one of them out at a time. They're intrigued by the car. Also, it's that thing that my wife actually guided me well on. You know, I never got to really ride in my dad's E-Type very much, and I never got to drive it. And so when my son started growing up and I had this Elise, she said to me years ago now, she said to me, he has to get to at least 16. You have to have at least till then so he can drive it. Now he has driven it now. It doesn't mean I'm getting rid of it. But she's like, you have to keep it at least, because there was a season we were like, should we get rid of the Elise? And she was like, you can't do that to him. I think your kids need the adventure of being in that car. Whether you keep it till they're driving is a totally separate thing, but I think they need the adventure of being in that car. And it sounds like they're pretty much at the ages now, 6 and 9, where they can start to get into booster seats and ride in a 2-seater. I mean, I was the crazy dad that did it early, but it is possible. So I feel like that car has adventures left in it. Also, Nate, I encourage you to take Emily out for the night and take the S2000. You've had it long enough now.
Yeah.
And it's old enough now that if the weather's not perfect, still take the S2000.
Yeah.
Just go out for a date night with Emily and take the S2000. I just think that's important. So that one I want to have stay. But so in my mind, the list is potentially all-wheel drive, definitely an automatic family car with some fun.
Okay, I'm jumping into some choices here.
Please.
And Nate, I'm in full agreement. I think the S2000 should stay. I think it's your happy place, and you're definitely not done with it. It's just not getting driven as much. So I love the optimism there. First choice on my list, I'm showing a 2025 Audi S3 And this is a nice step up, a nice upgrade from that Golf GTI while remaining automatic. So, Emily, you could drive it, which is great.
Yep.
So, S3 or RS3? I mean, kind of depending. You've got some driving homework to do, but RS3, you get that 5-cylinder, a lot of power, that front bias, the wider track in the front. I think you'd really love either of these cars, but they're still small and compact enough to feel GTI, the things that you love about that daily commute in the GTI. So I wanted something small, sedan-like for you, but it does sound like maybe an SUV is on the table, so I want to offer a couple of those suggestions because we've already got the fun car sorted. It doesn't really need to take the place of a fun car. And so my second choice here, I'm showing a GV70 Genesis.
Oh, that's very good. We love those.
A little bit bigger,
yeah,
but still a lot of power, a lot of fun to drive, great amenities, luxurious.
Yep.
You could it's like, the smaller version of the Telluride a little bit, kind of same family there now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, Emily, you can drive your Telluride and the rest of the family, Nate, the kids, can take this and go have an adventure, and they handle great. They're actually pretty fun to drive.
They're surprisingly fun to drive. We've got an updated test drive on one of those coming up fairly soon.
But the competitor to that Genesis GV70 is Macan.
You have a very green Macan on screen. It is super green with super green wheels.
I liked the photo. It's just representative. This is a 2020 model. So the Macan, Emily, has gone only to 2 generations. We're only now in the second generation of the Macan. The first generation has gone through a lot of updates, we'll say, and iterations from 2016 to 2019, then 2021. So the headlights and taillights have changed, but for the most part, the bones have stayed the same. Power's gotten a little bit of a bump. So what I'm showing here is a 2020 GTS with the new style rear taillights on those. I think you would really love driving these, and these are smaller, more compact. It's like a inflated GTI, maybe.
I've said it before. This is Porsche's hot hatch. It really is. It's just slightly larger than a Golf,
So those are my 2 choices for you. You've got a lot of test driving to do, but I think either of these would be an excellent choice, and keep the S2000.
I think so too. Nate, I'm going to jump in here and start a similar place to Paul. I wasn't going to start here, but it makes sense that I should because you covered it as well. And that is, yes, the step up from the GTI is you step up to the Audi. You get the S3, but if your budget allows, you get the RS3. Go RS3 if budget allows. I don't know how far you really can go. I don't know how far back.
Push.
I mean, yes, nobody's surprised that Paul's saying push on the budget, but you probably would be happier that way. But S3 is a really nice, it's going to feel like a progression from where you are, which is nice. So S3 works, RS3 is even better. But I'm talking family car, fun car, dad car, also 4 doors, 4 seats if possible, all-wheel drive. Emily might enjoy driving it as well. Nobody's going to be surprised that I went here. The Alfa Giulia, all-wheel drive, 4-cylinder.
That's a great color.
It is a good color. It comes in real colors. That's the thing. It comes in colors.
It comes in colors.
And it comes in all-wheel drive. And it's a 4-cylinder. These are fantastic cars. And I know many of you are eye-rolling and trying to figure out how to do an eye roll in the comments. I know there's an icon for it. The point I'm making here is Todd is recommending the Giulia again, but I think these are unsung cars, and when we can't get them anymore, 5 years from now, people are going to be like, remember how good the Giulia was? This is a great car to drive, to sit in, to see. I think this is really, really high on your list. But the place I'm landing for you, you guys brushed right by, and I don't understand it. And that is, you said they're hard to come by, but the answer is BMW 2 Series.
Yeah, that's great.
M240 xDrive. They're just out there.
That is awesome.
And here's the thing. This is, I'm showing on screen here, this is the generation prior to the current 2 Series. I'm not talking to current 2 Series, so it gets it down in budget. These are phenomenal to drive. I don't like the xDrive as much as the rear-wheel drive. We have driven them on the street and on the track. But for an actual daily, who cares? The xDrive is going to be great. You're never going to think about it. Put all-weather or winter tires on this and tell the weather to bring whatever it's got. Okay? xDrive of this, surprisingly roomy back seats, good for your kids right now, but decent for your kids up into their teen years. I mean, you could make it work. And I think, Emily, when you're driving this car, great. And most people, yes, it's a BMW, but this is not a notice me BMW. It's not.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
Because it's a little bit older, it's just you have a BMW. Some people might notice, but generally this is not a flashy car. So I think the 2 Series. Now, you said they're hard to come by. You need to expand your search. I did Auto Tempest nationwide. I did find one in Pennsylvania not far from you, but I found 12 on the East Coast. that were, and I put in a cap of 30 grand.
Okay.
I found 12 on the East Coast, and I found pages looking nationwide. Do that thing that we talk about where you find the right one and you fly out and drive it home. So I think you're not finding because you're not casting your view far enough. So look further than you normally would for a car. You can start to find these. They are great. I am landing right here with the M240 xDrive, and enjoy.
Nate, happy birthday. Emily, thank you for writing. Thank you for pushing send.
Yes, exactly.
That's part of the email process.
It is an important one, yes.
Yes, definitely write to us. Topic Tuesdays, car conclusions, car debates.
Now we get to Mandy. Mandy has worked with the show and for Hooked on Driving for a long, long time. Mandy has become vital. For those of you that have ever bought a Blu-ray, it was probably shipped by Mandy. And she has helped us immensely with all of our big adventures that we do. So she is a vital part of what we do, and we are glad to do her car debate. I do want to acknowledge the other side of the equation, and that is if we've never heard of you, send your car debate. We don't have to know you.
Exactly.
It's just really fun to get one from somebody that's close to what we do, and I'm laughing at Mandy because she said, I hope this is at least 2 scrolls. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Full car history, lots of waxing lyrical about all the cars she's owned. There's a lot here, but the reality is right now, I'm going to jump to the end and then we'll jump back. But right now, she has a Mercedes GLA 45 AMG that she wishes she liked more. It's been great and it's been problematic. So because of the problems with the car and some further problems with the dealer, sad to say, that car is going to go away. So she has found herself, after buying what she thought was going to be the perfect car, this happens. She's found herself in that place where I thought I found the perfect car. It's going away. So now what? And therefore we get the book.
Mandy, I also have to compliment you. Thank you for writing. And Todd's right. We don't have to know you, but I love doing it for somebody that we have had this conversation internally, constantly for a while now. I have to compliment you because I didn't really know you were a writer. And I love that every one of you who has written to us, sometimes it turns into this pages and pages, but the writing comes out of you. And I also think it's cathartic. I wish we could get to every car debate. I wish we could do every single one. Some of them, if you're considering a GR86 or a Miata, I will just tell you to go drive both and get the one that you like the most.
Yeah, we have talked about those cars a lot. That's a fair point. Yeah, the 1,000 podcasts, they've come up at least a couple times.
Once
fair, yeah.
or twice.
Yeah.
But I love the writing. I love the spreadsheets. I mean, that's part of what Mandy's email here is. Let's not talk about the spreadsheets that we have. She didn't send any, but I know they exist.
I'm certain that she's built some, yes, for sure.
She was born in Chicago. The year of our Lord, 1988. It was a Friday in July.
Oh, no.
Mandy by Barry Manilow played on the radio.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's her origin story. Now we're making a Marvel movie. Anyway, that you have a slightly different tint to the screen during that sequence, and then you have a slow fade, and now we're up to modern time, and the color changes.
Is it the film strip?
No. You just do a fade. Yeah.
Starting off with the true 90s gem, she had a 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse. I love that each of the cars that you name, there's a little story.
Oh, yeah.
She says it was a lifestyle snapshot from an era of neon lights and CD binders stuffed with mixed CDs.
All of those things were true. And here's the thing. You and I have this stupid joke that we do often, and I'm going to share it with all of you now. You do that thing with your buddy when you see a car you haven't seen it forever, and you go, "You never see those." And the other one of us, whichever one of us was stupid enough to say those words, the other one will say deadpan, "Well, there's one." Because
you never see that. There's one.
But this week, I saw a late 90s convertible Eclipse on the road in Park City. I was with my son. I said, "You never see those," and he went, "There's one." So he's in on it too. We had it nailed. But I couldn't believe. I literally did have that moment. Where it's like I don't even remember the last time I saw one, and there it was, the '99 Mitsubishi Eclipse, and that was a phenomenon when it came out. Think about where Mitsubishi is now. The Eclipse when it came out, that was the epitome of I can't believe this came out. Somebody ought to buy one.
My buddy Jeff Eggleston had one.
I knew people in my high school that had it.
I wanted it.
Yeah, they were very cool.
We went skiing in that car.
Very
cool.
Just
so cool.
Yep, she loved that. Then she has had a string of Mazdas. Started with the 626, then a Mazda 3. Then she had the Mazda 3 because she briefly had a Jetta, and she said it tried to kill her. There's not more. That's the one place I wanted to hear more story. Tried to kill her. That's just,
like extrapolate.
That's the one place we didn't expound. Anyway, so after the Jetta, she got a Mazda 3. That led to a CX3. Then she got her first Boxster. And then while wanting to pair something with the Boxster, she wanted something bigger than the CX-3, so she got a Mazda CX-5. And then after that got old, she upgraded to a newer CX-5. So that's 2 CX-5, one of which she just got rid of to get the current car. Along the way, there was her experience with the 2013 Subaru BRZ.
Mm-hmm.
And she, I know you're surprised, but she actually agrees with us. This is the car for somebody that wants to just boil driving down to just driving. There's nothing flashy. There's not enough power. There's all the things we can argue about why that's not good enough. But a 2013 BRZ, she said she felt really kind of focused her on what's important about driving. But that was the fun car in life before her first Porsche Boxster. And then Mandy is as much of a Porsche fan as my dear friend Paul. In fact, Mandy might be more prone to buy the Porsche toaster, especially if it was flat, than Paul would be.
I love the flat toast.
I'm telling you.
That's
what the world needs.
Opportunity.
Definitely. So she is all about Porsche, and there are paragraphs on Porsche, and I will spare you, but she does love it, and she finds that the Boxster is the perfect place for her to get 911 vibes, but yet the quirkiness plus the convertible. So she is all about that, and she has a Boxster. She's on actually her second Boxster now, which was recently wrapped. I don't know another way to describe it. It is a toothpaste teal.
It's fresh mint.
You can't ignore it. It's actually great looking.
Yeah.
But it got wrapped that color, and it looks phenomenal. So she wrapped her
with
silver.
the bronze wheels.
It does look really cool. So she has her Boxster right now. But what became her, because think about this way. The Boxster is the fun car. Full stop. That's solved. So it's what's the alt, which for a long time was the was the Mazda CX-5 in variations. But she wanted to have more fun with the Bad Weather Daily, which led her, after much discussion, you think this is long, much discussion, to the Mercedes-Benz CLA AMG 45. Which has been problematic and is going to go away. So we have to replace that car she thought was perfect and arguably is perfect. It's just her experience with it has been bad enough she's getting rid of it.
It's a bummer. I hate to see that car go because I like those so much.
It's very cool, yeah.
All right, moving on to the options she's considering, which include a Porsche Macan. Makes a lot of sense.
She likes Porsches, yeah. Mm-hmm.
S or GTS, an off-the-shelf tune for more power. I mean, maybe you should just do your own. You know, everybody's doing the Cayenne off-road overlanding builds. I've never seen somebody do it with a Macan.
The Overland Macan.
Safari Macan.
How do we make the word Rubicayenne out of Macan?
I'll keep thinking about it.
We'll get back there, yeah.
Panamera Sport Turismo. That's Porsche's answer to people who want wagon versatility without sacrificing speed or style. I love your writing in here.
I love them. It's great.
Fantastic. I mean, everything. When you're describing the Boxster, uncanny ability to make every drive feel purposeful, blah, blah, blah. The symphony of the precision when the toast pops out of the... Anyway.
It's all about really the flat toast.
It really is cool.
That's really the big takeaway from this podcast. Porsche flat toast. Moving on, yeah.
BMW 2 Series, BMW 3 Series, Mercedes GLA 45 AMG.
Okay, so GLA, so we're going into the small SUV versus the small sedan.
The needs are ski resorts because she had also considered the CT4 Blackwing, but she thinks she would be frustrated at ski resorts because of ground clearance and navigating rutted lots. So, yeah. Outdoors, ski resorts, road trips.
Yeah.
Comfortability, something to just daily, luxurious, fun.
Yeah.
Boxster's the fun car, so that is also track car.
But keep in mind that we're replacing, even though we're replacing the Mercedes-Benz, we're replacing the CX-5's role. And that was the bang around, haul stuff, go to the ski resort. That was its role. So it has to do those things still in life.
I'm going to go straight to my choices here.
Okay, love it.
And I love all the stuff that you've been considering. I mean, just so all of you know, we've been going round and round for a few months now about what she should get. And this is what she should get. Do you not all agree? She's a Porsche girl.
Thank you for writing. Good to have you here. Yep.
Click. We're done. Porsche. I'm showing a 2022 Macan GTS, the GTS flavor of Porsches. That is the sweet spot. I'm going to push on your budget, but you knew that was coming.
Yeah, of course.
And this is the car that I think you should get. I have two more that are kind of a laugh that I just kind of wanted you to be aware of. We have not talked about these yet, but Macan is the one. I think it's the one. Emily and Nate, get a Macan. Mandy, get a Macan. Everybody, just buy a Macan.
All right. I've done some similar, this is the first time in a while that I've had a car that's been an answer on both. But anyway, we'll keep going. Yeah.
All right, so now that we've firmly established that, I wanted you to know that the Stelvio Quad is on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one of these in the parking lot at Home Depot the other day, and you know what? It turned my head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wanted one in that instance. The stance, the purpose, what I know the Quad is.
Yep.
I think this could be really compelling. But I do want you all to know, Mandy, Nate, and Emily, just wanted you to know, the Grecale Trofeo.
Oh, no.
Just stay with me. You're tuning out.
I am wearing a Miserati shirt today.
I know you are.
One of my all-time favorite shirts that you designed is the Miserati shirt. Notice how the pickle fork is off-center, like falling out of the circle. That's on purpose.
Wilting.
Yes.
I just want you to know that Grecale Trofeo, that is the Nettuno V6 turbo engine out of the MC20, detuned for the Trofeo Grecale. But we had one of these. We drove one of these. We did a test drive.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And I think these will survive and be just as fine as any other new car across the board. But they are now $63,000.
What?
They were double that when they just
that.
came out. This is a 2023 with that special yellow paint.
Which was $15,000 by itself.
$63,000, close to 60, and you can go have yourself a low mile, like an 8,000 mile Grecale Trofeo, and we're done.
That's insane.
And I think they will be just
That's
fine.
insane.
So do you want to, Italian flavor? Do you want to do something completely different?
Bring back the Miserati shirt on Blip Shift and go buy a Maserati. Yeah.
The reason we say Miserati is because that's good news. Wow, everybody, they're $60,000 now. Half price from 2 years ago.
It's unbelievable.
2 years from now, what are they going to be?
We don't know.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And none of us buy cars for their resale value.
We shouldn't,
except for our 12-car crazy list.
We weren't selling those. We were just buying them. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I wish Maseratis held their value better, because now I think they're back to a place where they're going to be good. And I bet you this would be just fine. Put 100,000 miles on it, it'd be just fine. Just fine. Fun to drive. Different flavor. Paddle shifters on the column.
Yeah, I get you. Very interesting. You and I, we overlapped a good amount in all of these discussions today, but I'm going to jump here real quick to my obvious choice, because Mandy's talked about it up one side and down the other. She's told me about the tunes for the Macan. She's told me about all the tunes she's discovered. Clearly, the rabbit hole has been deep and might have even filled in behind her on the Macan. So the Macan is an obvious choice. Yes, you would like that. I mean, I don't want you to have a double Porsche garage. I think you would enjoy a double Porsche garage. That's the flip side.
Yes.
So I'm aware of that reality, and I'm aware of the fact that you want to be able to get into something and just drive it.
Does she need to have a double Porsche garage just to get it out of her system so she could move on to something different in the future? Maybe,
but I have other thoughts. And again, the one that I had from the prior debate that also works here is the M240 xDrive.
Yes.
We were there for the last time. We could be right there again, Mandy. You've driven this car. I actually know that you have. This would work great. It does everything you need it to do and is still decently fun. And isn't an SUV. I think your foray into the Mercedes CLA was you wanted to do all the things of your SUV but not have an SUV. So the M240 xDrive does that as well. And these are very solid. They're good ZF 8-speed. They're small. You also like smaller things, so I think that works in that regard. I really want to put a serious vote in for here. But my favorite, sadly, you already mentioned, but I have to really, really beat the drum for this. My favorite for you, Mandy, because I think the thing you haven't mentioned is the other reason you bought the Mercedes is because it's not the obvious choice. I think you like the non-obvious choice. You like the sound of that car. You like the fact you don't see a ton of them. I'm sorry, but the Stelvio is the answer. And I've got a picture here of the Stelvio at Stelvio Pass. This is the Stelvio Quadrifoglio. This is the wonderful V6 with the fantastic voice that is in the Giulia Quadrifoglio that I like so much. But here it's all-wheel drive, and it has actual ground clearance. This is your SUV upgrade, and these, like the Maseratis, have plummeted. So whatever money you get out of that Mercedes, you could go find yourself a Stelvio Quadrifoglio. And my issue with the Stelvio has always been, in the lower trims, it's not interesting enough and it's wallowy. But once we got to the competition, not even the big engine, the competition, which is this running gear and the lesser engine, it was like, oh, now this is a contender.
Yeah.
And it's atypical. It's not another Macan or Cayenne. As much as I like those, this is far more interesting. These drive small, And now you put that big boy engine in this. And actually some outlets that do 0 to 60 testing, it was not that this is why you're buying, but it was faster in the Stelvio than the Giulia because of the all-wheel drive, because it put its power down better.
Traction.
So this is a ZF8 speed, again, column-mounted shifters. I think Stelvio Quadrifoglio is the SUV you should get. Will you? I don't know. But that's my vote in a big, big way, Mandy, and I hope that helps.
Good luck with your shopping.
We'll hear about it. Yeah.
Definitely hear about it. It will continue. But wouldn't it be funny if she got the Stelvio Quadrifoglio and put 100,000 miles on it, and all the talk of will it be reliable, like that's completely out the window, and it just ran.
Be nice.
It was just better than anything.
Be phenomenal. You're not going to find a better engine note either.
Grecale Trofeo.
I actually think the engine note's better on the Stelvio, but the
Stelvio
is interesting.
Superb.
Yeah.
It's superb. All right. Well, thank you for writing.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a debate like Mandy's, like Emily and Nate's, I think you know where to write by now. Do you know where to write?
Hopefully. Here's the thing. Do not write to everydaydriver@gmail. Somebody out there is getting emails that are not for them. everydaydrivertv@gmail is key, so please write to us there. We do read every email that comes in, so thank you for all of them. There's a lot, and we love it.
Yeah.
As you can see how long we're running, and we love that, we're actually going to jump through some car conclusions. We're going to jump to questions. Thank you guys for questions, as always. Evan is writing in first. He's saying that he has a question for a short debate. Well, we're already running long. Which front-engine car would you most like to see reimagined as a mid-engine, just like happened with the Corvette? What front-engine car would you like to see reimagined as a mid-engine car? He would like to see what Ford would do with a direct 718 competitor to the Mustang. Take the Mustang, make a 718 Boxster competitor with that.
Smaller, lighter. We're on the right track already.
The Mustang has to be smaller and lighter. That's the key things, for sure. So what are you thinking? What here is interesting?
From Ford? Just from
No,
Ford alone?
No, in general. What traditionally front-engine car we like to see reimagined as a mid-engine?
Supra.
That's good. I like that a lot.
I guess it'd be called the MR2.
Yeah, or I don't know, yeah. Needs a beefier sounding name, but it would be kind of like a bigger MR2. That's an interesting point. I do like that.
I mean, the Corvette was originally mid-engine.
They were hoping for it from the beginning. They wanted it to be, and it wasn't forever. Yeah.
God, Toyota's got to bring an MR2 out. It's the lowest of low-hanging fruit. It's already fallen onto the ground.
Obvious. Yes, agreed. Don't let it rot, everybody.
Overripe. It's on.
I like it. Instead they're doing like wee little trucks that look like the Renegade. We're back to full circle of this podcast. You know what I'm actually wondering about? The Aston Martin Vantage. Because I feel like Aston Martin only does mid-engine when they go super high-end, like the Valkyrie. A Vantage, like make a bottom of their market mid-engine car. Now, I realize it puts them against Ferraris, but they get put up against Ferraris anyway. Where is the mid-engine version of a somewhat bottom-of-the-market affordable Vantage? And while I'm there, let's redo the Jaguar F-Type. Let's make that mid-engine.
That's good. And I was thinking, what from Alpha could be mid-engine? Bring the 4C back?
The 4C back would be nice, but it was never a front. But I could see, the Vantage is known to be a front engine, but you have everything else in your lineup, but your hypercar is always front engine. So let's make another mid.
Yeah.
And then the E-Type, Jaguar is continuing to milk the E-Type.
That's good.
The F-Type is really cool, but what's the F-Type mid-engine like?
That's good.
Because then it also wouldn't have to compete with the E-Type. Wouldn't have to be like, well, that's not as pretty as the E-Type. It's a mid-engine car now.
That's good. That would elevate the brand.
I think so.
Jake's on a Plane on Instagram says that we are two of the least tech-focused car guys he follows.
This is true, actually. You're right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Todd drives an Elise, for Pete's sake.
Yep, there's not a lot of tech going on there, yep.
But even you, Todd, have said CarPlay is an amazing feature. Do we think GM is shooting themselves in the foot by ditching it? The CEO called it clunky, which felt harsh. You could call the Volkswagen interface clunky, but not CarPlay. To answer your question about GM, yes, I think they're shooting themselves in the face, because if you're going to say that, I think you're referring to Mark Royce. If you're going to say bold, big words like that, you better have something already ready to go that is better. You can't say, well, we're gonna do it better than Apple, because everybody says in filmmaking, well, it's the next such and such movie that did great at the box office, or it's the next Tesla, or we're gonna be the next Apple, or that. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Well, we get approached at least once a quarter by somebody who is building the YouTube killer. And I put the email in the trash. You aren't building the YouTube killer. Like, we want to have you with us. We're going to kill YouTube. No, you're not.
It's become definitive. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, those are the two definitive interfaces, and every manufacturer should just flat out embrace them. Car companies aren't really in the business and had to go into the business briefly to do interface. Volkswagen fell on their face.
Yeah.
And I think GM backing away from this is a matter of pride.
Well, and also it's also data.
Licensing.
It's data.
I suppose data, but that's not GM's sweet spot. It never has been. So they need to embrace it, in my opinion. And saying those words without having something in your hip pocket that truly is different and better and then people are already using, well, now you're fighting a gigantic uphill battle against what everybody already loves.
Can they hope to make something that people enjoy using even 90% as much as the CarPlay and Android Auto interface? And that's the hard part. And look, Rivian has avoided it and Tesla has avoided it because those are essentially tech companies that make cars. But you could still argue it would be nice to have that interface. I actually read in this interview about GM doing this. They made the comment where, and I thought this was a really weird correlation, but I'm going to try to land it. Their argument was people use their phone interface on their phone, but once they move to a laptop, they don't want a phone interface anymore. They want a different interface. I see how you got there, but the thing is, the reason Android Auto and CarPlay work so well is because that is the way we interact with our entertainment and our navigation. Whether we're walking, taking the subway, getting in a friend's car, following along in an Uber, or driving, this is our nav system. We just know the nav system because it's on our phone. When I want to listen to music, when I want to follow a podcast, when I'd like to watch a video real quick, I do it on my phone. The car needs to have buttons for the car features. And then the only other way you interact with the car is all the stuff we're used to doing on our phone. I think that's where GM is missing the usability part of this. And to your point, unless they knock it out of the park, we're just like, this is so much better, which that's hard to pitch for.
Yeah.
I think it's a real problem. And I also think in some cases, not across the board, but in some cases, they will lose sales when people realize that's not an option.
Jake, to the other part of your question about us being the least tech-focused, I'm going to take that as a compliment. I am very proud of that because
Agreed.
The tech, in the time that we've been doing this, the tech has changed dramatically and will continue to change, and we're always focused on the driving experience. Now, if the tech improved the driving experience, ride quality, ride comfort, the Magna Ride, okay, that changes the personality of the car. Absolutely worthy of being discussed. But if it's a deep dive into a nav system or new features for safety sense or something like that, pretty much every manufacturer offers some version of that and will offer that soon if they don't already. Subaru almost introduces things to like protect everybody from I don't know what, because we've all forgotten about driving. Like humans have been driving for at least 100 years now. 100 years. I think humans kind of get driving. I mean, there's bad drivers and good drivers, but
for sure,
rabbit trail. But still, humans have been driving, and autonomous driving. Like nobody's ever going to need to drive again because driving sucks. No,
commuting sucks.
Yes,
Driving's pretty awesome.
All the safety sense and safety systems and protect you from. Now it turns us into frightened drivers. How about you become a better driver? And those systems should be supplemental, not to replace. You forgot how to look over your shoulder backing up. You forgot to check your mirrors and you stop looking at your phone and, all those kinds of things. So I think being tech focused, it has its place, but the driving and how the car behaves, and do you want to buy it because of driving? Because if you want to just buy it for tech, buy a Tesla.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good point.
It's not really about the driving experience. It's about a phone on wheels.
And they're doing that very, very well. Charlie Perry's got a question here, and I wanted to touch on it quickly. He said he's curious about the Southeast region of Hooked on Driving. Wasn't there one? There was. That franchisee left Hooked on Driving, but we have created a new region that is actually overseeing that, which is called the Mid-Atlantic. It's based in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that is run by Devin and his wife Heather and their lead instructor Ryan, and they are awesome, and they have done events all year. He was asking specifically about Rolling Road. That is potentially on the calendar. We will see, but he was asking about something around Thanksgiving. You're in luck. The weekend after Thanksgiving, our Mid-Atlantic region is at VIR. They're having a huge 2-day event at VIR. So we'll hope you'll look at our Mid-Atlantic region. That is essentially covering what used to be our Southeast, and those guys are killing it there. So that's the answer to that question.
Wade, known as H2O.st.44, asking, why did Ford pull so many of its models if the F-150 is doing so well and can basically pay for the rest of the lineup? That's because Ford is also going through their own, are we going the right direction kind of moment? Is this the direction we want to go with our future model lineup? So I think they're paring back. There's even news as of this recording that a fire at a steel supplier is affecting the Ford F-150 output because that supplier is something like 30 or 40% of Ford's consumption for raw material steel.
Wow.
And that is affecting the F-150 production in a huge way. So
from they're not spitting one out every 56 seconds. It's now like 90 seconds.
It's like 90 or 91 seconds.
Whoa,
so.
they've slowed way down.
Where's all the F-150s?
I don't know what we're going to do. Speaking of mass-produced cars, last question for me is drive to run. In a hypothetical world where Porsche can either only make the 911 for the rest of time in a traditional rear-wheel or all-wheel drive rear-engine two-door, or they can make everything except the 911 for the rest of time, which path do we want them to take, assuming that Porsche survives as a brand either way? So Porsche with no 911 and everything else, or Porsche with just the 911? And I don't know if I'm going to have the more controversial stance here, but here is my thought. The 911 that everybody thinks should exist is already being done by Singer and Gunther and all those folks. Rob Emery does the really old ones of the 356s. What people in their mind have lionized the 911 into is being done by those companies and not being done by Porsche corporate anymore. And based on that, the 911 goes away. And it frees up Porsche, who has fantastic engineers and great, we talked about the T-Hybrid again today. That frees up Porsche to do Porsche products that don't have to constantly try to ping back to the kind of 911 they're not making anymore. They can say, that was something we did. It was awesome. We're doing this now. Because unless, and we look at our problem with Porsche, that was episode 1001, unless they want to wrench the 911 and essentially compete with Singer and make that car again, we're not going back. And so many thousands and thousands of words have been written about the fact that fundamentally, for racing even, that is the wrong configuration, is to have a rear engine car. But they have to keep making the 911. So I think no more 911, everything else.
I think you're 100% right. We are not the bellwether of everything. We are not the harbinger of doom or the, I don't know what, but
occasionally we get something kind of right every now and then. Yeah.
But look at the collection between you and I. You own SUVs built by Porsche. True. And I own 2 of their sports cars that are not 911s, and
Fair
that's
point.
My choice.
Fair point, yeah.
I think I want a 911. I know I do.
I've driven some great ones. I've driven some great ones, but there's always something I would buy prior.
And here I am. I've got a front-engine GT car from their past.
That's true.
And a mid-engine Porsche.
That's true,
And I still have not gravitated. I think I'm getting there. I want to get there. But I'm not there.
We have a great friend with the definitive 1987 Carrera with the G50 gearbox, the 3.2 engine. It is the peak of what people think an old classic 911 with the manual steering and heavy brake pedal. It's everything. And I love driving it. But I'm fine that I don't own it, which is interesting. And then we have the supercars that are the current GT cars that are big now.
They're big.
Yeah.
I love driving them.
They drive incredibly
amazing.
well. Yes.
I want one.
But it wasn't on your 12, which is even crazier.
But the ST was. The ST was on my 12.
I guess the ST did get you there.
But the Singer,
right. Okay, yeah.
the 959, that's not real. It's 911-like, but that wasn't a 911. And
It's interesting,
We're not the bellwether for anything. Don't read
yeah.
anything. I'm just trying to use this as an example, maybe a bad example, but anyway.
Thank you guys, as always, for your questions, your comments on this video when it's on YouTube. We really appreciate those as well. Pass on the show, hype it, apparently. I have heard about it. I just realized this week I was actually looking at some stats, and I was like, we are getting hypes. And I thought if we're getting them, then I'm going to at least mention it. So Thanks for doing that, and we just really appreciate you being with us and allowing us to do this show, and this job is really cool.
It's really awesome. Guys, thank you so much. 2 words for you. Flat toast.
That's what the world needs.
I don't know why I didn't see that coming.
Porsche certainly didn't, which is too bad.
Smeg, you have work to do. Until next time, cheers, everyone.